We wanted to make a film which would be a centrepiece for our new developments at the Roman Army Museum, which would portray Roman army life in all its guts and glory.
The initial reaction to hearing about this project was pure excitement. It was a big project. It had the potential to be massive in both scale and storytelling. There were so many things that were just so cool.
We thought, wouldn't it be fantastic if we had not just an amazing film, but an incredible immersive experience? And the only really way we thought we could do that and to get that across was to shoot the whole thing in 3D, an incredibly ambitious project, but one we were prepared to seize. The film had to be historically accurate, it had to be really well grounded, and as one of the best ways to do that was at the very early stage, at the planning stage, to get the key members of the crew involved and actually walk them along the territory, walk them along the ground so they could get the essence of the thing and actually see the territory, see the turf, see the scenes, where some of the scenes may take place.
We saw the locations on offer, the beautiful rolling hills, the crags, just the grandeur of it all. There was no way from that point that we were going to shoot it in a studio. It had to be here, up on Hadrian's Wall, in amongst it, where it actually happened. First day of filming was massive. 3D rigs, cranes, tracking dollies. It was a big first day.
It really had a big blockbuster film feel about it in terms of the infrastructure and the amazing 3D camera, the crew that had to operate that.
It's quite intimidating. It's a big rig and it's fiddly and cumbersome, but the payoff is that we produced these stunning 3D visuals.
Today we are shooting the training day scene.
And what we're doing here today is showing you one of the famous manoeuvres that the Romans used to do, which was the testudo, commonly known as the tortoise.
I wanted to show that they were a slick military unit, so they would come together like a machine and bolt on, bang, 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 bang. That took some doing. There was a lot of work, a lot of coordination, a lot of blocking out to get that right.
This is Seema. She's a white-tailed seagull. She's 7 years old, and this is her first time out ever from the centre, so she's doing remarkably well, actually.
Beautiful bird, but we were all slightly scared of her. We wanted to go close and have a look, but we just knew that within one swift blow she could, take our eyes out if we weren't careful. But we gave her space, we respected her privacy.
Well, it's day 3. We're in a bit of natural English deciduous woodland, which is the location for the hunt scene.
On the road.
This is Carrick, this is Milo, this is Merle, and that's Magic. They were bred for royalty. They were given as gifts to royalty as hunting dogs.
We are at Vindolanda, and the scene that we are shooting is the hunting party returning. This morning we shot the hunting party in the woods, and now they're returning to the fort. And the reason we've picked this particular location is because it's historically accurate, geography-wise.
It's very exciting. You sort of squint your eyes and you can imagine yourself back in time. It's great.
So are you nervous?
Yeah, a little. But me and Steve's going to go and have a moment and just kind of like build the voice up and get me voice ready for kind of depth and loudness that he wants, just to get myself psyched up.
Have you been a barbarian before?
No, not a barbarian. I've been plenty of other nasty creatures. Goes with the size, I'm afraid.
It should be good. I'm going to be ruthless, mean and hard, scary.
We are in the Dorsyke field, which, if you remember, is where we shot the return of the stag party hunt. But we're here today because it's a good spot for our helicopter to land in.
Okay, at the moment we're putting the cameras on so that we're ready to shoot. Cameras both go on there, we then test them, test they're all working, and go shooting.
And this is what's going to take the plates that we're going to put the CG onto. Pretty much ready to go. It's a sunny day, it's going to look fantastic.
In terms of the aerial shots and actually overlaying the CG on top of it, that was perhaps the most difficult aspect for me personally as part of the film, because as an archaeologist I'm looking at every single part of those buildings, every crenellation, every turret, every bathhouse, bit of smoke, and I'm saying, would that really be like that? And we had to inject that realism into the film, but I think we definitely got there.
When you finish filming, you don't just arrive with a finished 3D product. There's a certain amount of manipulation of those images that you have to do in the post-production process.
The first day of the edit, Stephen, the director, brought in a whole host of materials, storyboards, notes, sketches, ideas, things that he wanted to try. And we just start laying down shots, building blocks of the film really, shot by shot, putting elements together. Once we've finished the editing process, we go through a whole secondary finishing process with the material where we do something called a depth grade. And what happens there is we actually adjust the amount of 3D.
How far things come out of the screen, into the audience, and how far things go back behind the screen, back into the shot.
One of the things we did was we went back to the location, to the same wooded glade where the ambush scene, for example, took place, and we recreated a lot of those scenes. So every footstep that you hear as they stealthily move towards each other, the running around, the shouting, the impacts, the swords, all of that kind of thing was recreated by us. It gives us more material to put in the surround sound speakers, which makes it a really big, fat soundtrack.
First time looking at the film in full 3D, a nervous moment, because you know, this is what you've been building up to for months and months and months. I'm absolutely chuffed that we've got to this point where we're ready to open the doors and invite everybody else in to see something that we are excited, thrilled and amazed by ourselves.
I've learned an awful lot about Roman history. I made some great new friends, and we've arrived with a film that I think we're all very proud of.